Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here at Full Throttle. Thank you very much for tuning in on today's episode. We are back on the R170, specifically the SLK230, and I'm going to be showing you guys how easy it is to replace that mass airflow sensor. So let's dive into it now. All right guys, so very first thing, we have our brand new mass airflow sensor. There's the part number 02802184111, and this is the OEM Bosch replacement mass airflow sensor for the M111 engine, so the SLK230. This does have the M62 Eden supercharger, so it is a pre-facelift model. But here we go, guys. So that is the mass airflow sensor that you should receive. And again, there's the Bosch numbering, made in Germany, very important to see. And then the little arrow for the direction of airflow. So I have over the years put in some of the cheaper eBay Chinese mass airflow sensors. Some I've had absolutely terrible luck, and others have actually worked quite well. This one that I'm actually going to be replacing has been in the car for probably about 5 years, and at a much significant cheaper price than the Bosch. That being said, I have been having some starting issues, idling issues, kind of sporadic. So I'm not too sure. I'm trying to narrow down the problems that I'm having. I haven't had the car scanned yet, so I'm going to be just placing the mass airflow sensor with an OEM Bosch unit. So let's dive into it here, guys. Very first thing, you're going to want to open up that hood. I do have it in the service position there now to give us lots of room, and we should need very minimal tools. It is just a tight location to be at. So what we need to do very first thing is going to unplug the electrical connector. So you just have 2 press tabs on each side, and you're going to pull that straight out. Very, very easy to do. The other thing I'm hoping you guys are going to be able to see here is we have a couple clips on each side. So basically, they're just toggle latches that are going to be clipping into these mounts on each side of the mass airflow sensor. So you can get down in here, and all you got to do is pull up and around. So very similar to the mount that's on the airbox, just a little tab underneath, and it comes up and off. So there's one on the back side, one on the front side. I will admit, guys, the one on the front side's a little tougher to get to, but still not that bad. All right, guys, so the very next step, we have to remove one of these couplings. So basically, there's 2 hose clamps on each coupling, and you can just use a Phillips screwdriver or a 10mm socket on those. Loosen that off so you have lots of play, but you don't want to go too far that you actually loosen off the entire clip. At this point, we should be able to now pull upwards. Now be cautious of this upper coupling. You don't want to cause too much stress on that. These things are obviously quite old, and you could possibly create a tear. The other option you can do is also just remove the entire piece, and that will give you much more room to play with. We'll pull that right off, and now you can see the entire unit. All you're going to do now is loosen off the lower hose clamp, remove that mass airflow sensor. We're going to set this one aside. So at this point, we can now remove the protective cover on the Bosch unit. Pop that off, and we're going to slide this one into place. Now, before you tighten down this hose clamp, I do highly recommend to check the orientation. You want to make sure you have the right orientation of the plug so you can get the harness plugged back in. So that's over that way, should be close enough. At this point, you can recenter your hose clamp and tighten that down. We can now get this down into place. Just take your time. It is a little finicky to get in. Obviously, remove that protective cover, check for any debris, and we are good. You can then reinstall those side clips. Push those in, make sure everything is nice and seated correctly, and then we can then straighten out our coupling up top. Again, make sure everything is seated properly, and then we're going to tighten up these hose clamps. All right, guys, once that is all completed, we're now ready to plug in the new mass airflow sensor. So that is now all plugged in. We're going to double check all of our connectors and we look good to go. All right, guys, and it's as easy as that to install a brand new mass airflow sensor into your SLK230, specifically a pre-facelift with the M111 engine and the M62 supercharger. This can be done in a matter of, honestly guys, 15 minutes. The only tool you need is a Phillips screwdriver, and if you have your original Mercedes-Benz toolkit in the trunk, it actually has one in there. So you do not need to purchase any tools. 15 minutes, you can get this done yourself in no time, whether you're inside a garage or out in the driveway. You can get this done yourself. Now guys, if you don't have a diagnostic tool, you can disconnect the negative battery terminal. That will clear any potential codes. Let it sit for about 30 minutes, hook it up, rehook it up, and then take the vehicle out for a test drive. I'm not even going to do that, guys. We're going to give it a few drive cycles, see how it works, and then we should be good to go. Worst case, I'll pop that battery cable off. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. If you have any questions or concerns, be sure to reach out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and until next time, you guys know what to do. Keep red full throttle.